Some rumblings behind the scenes suggest that Alabama is back in play for a former Crimson Tide star on the hardwood. Stick around. This is Way Offsides. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Thank you for being here for Cotton Time, brought to you by Way Offsides and the WOSN. There's a lot of things happening in the world of college sports right now, and the majority of them today revolve around the transfer portal, whether it's NCAA basketball, college football. The transfer portal is wild and needs to be roped in. It's crazy. It is crazy. We dropped a video yesterday talking about Nico Iamaleava leaving Tennessee to go to UCLA, and then his brother, who was originally committed to UCLA and flipped his commitment on National Signing Day to Arkansas, now in the transfer portal to go back to UCLA. It's just bonkers. It makes for great stories. Not so much if you're a time-honored, faithful fan of a specific team like we are here, like Alabama. The transfer portal is it's a tough pill to swallow in that sense. Luckily for Alabama football, knock on wood, the spring portal has been kind to them so far. Now, what about basketball? It's not been great for the Tide in basketball and Nate Oats. We've seen a lot of exits, Jaron Stevenson, Mo D. It's been kind of tough. It's been tough sledding in Tuscaloosa on the basketball side, but they have made some noise bringing some guys in, and it looks like the Tide might make a big sound with a former Crimson Tide guard. That's right, folks. You guessed it. Everything that I see, everything I'm reading, everything that I'm looking at points to one truth, and that is that former Alabama Crimson Tide guard Rylan Griffen will find his way back to the Tide after a one-year campaign with the Kansas Jayhawks. Griffen played alongside some of your favorites for the Tide back in 2023, 2024, where he averaged about 11 points a game. He was doing pretty well. He looked good, but he was playing second fiddle to a lot of guys like Mark Sears, people like that. So he hit the portal. Went and got a check. The 6'6", 190-pound now junior out of Dallas, Texas, went and got paid, but he wasn't necessarily featured in the Jayhawks offense, averaging about 6 points a game in the 2024-2025 season. Just did not look good. I don't know that they knew how to use him. Griffen is a kind of guy who can score some points in the paint. He's a great three-point shooter, which is what Alabama is looking to replace with the exits of guys like Mark Sears, LeBaron Philon, even Jaron Stevenson and Mo D. You know, Alabama builds their offense, their basketball offense, around the three-point shot. So I want to know more than anything how you guys feel about this. I saw a tweet earlier today, and it pretty much, I believe it came from an Auburn fan, so take it for what you will, but it's an interesting topic. Pretty much that if somebody leaves a program, they don't want that person back whatsoever. How do you feel about that? If that was, if we feel strongly about that, Alabama should not have welcomed Caden Proctor back with open arms like they did. I personally am happy that we did. Alabama football, that is. So how would you feel about Rylan Griffen coming back? How would you feel? It seems that all things are pointing to that being what's going to happen, basically. Griffen was supposed to visit Kentucky. That visit has now been canceled. It just feels really good for Alabama right now, who has an open position because of the exit of LeBaron Philon to the NBA draft. Obviously, Mark Sears graduates. Bama loses some guys in the portal. You know, you're going to keep Aiden Holloway, and then you bring in a guy like Rylan Griffen. I like where Alabama basketball is headed. I really do. Let's see. Let's take a look at some of his stats. Now, he played in all 37 games in 2023 for the Alabama Crimson Tide, including 33 starts. He averaged 11.2 points a game. He averaged 3.4 rebounds and 1.9 assists per game. Scored double figures in 18 games. That's very promising, especially when you're losing a couple scores like Mark Sears and LeBaron Philon. let's see, in the tournament, this was during Alabama's Final Four run, he averaged 12.4 games, 1.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assists. And he was shooting 50% from the field, 48% from three-point range. That's pretty lethal, especially in the NCAA tournament. Rylan Griffen was a big reason Alabama made it to the Final Four. I know a lot of people, like my guy, Waaaay Offsides Jeff, won't want to hear that, but you can't really argue with the numbers, can you? You know, and in 2022, he played in 37 games. He was only averaging about 6 points a game. He did have a 16-point game against Liberty that year. And then he hit a season high 4 3-pointers against LSU that year. But I feel like it's weird with Griffen and his stats. You know, you look at what he did at Kansas, and it just I feel like he potentially just wasn't used correctly. We all know the guy can shoot the ball. We all know that he demands a lot of attention. I don't want to call him Mark Sears because he's definitely not Mark Sears, but Rylan Griffen is a solid guard who could add another dimension to Alabama's three-point shooting, and he can get up and score in the paint. My guy Jeff will tell you he can't, but Jeff isn't always right, so that's okay. He doesn't always have to be right. Sometimes Cotton can be right. You know, it doesn't have to always be Jeff. But tell me in the comments what you think. What you think about this potential move. I think it's almost a guarantee. Now, everything is fluid in the transfer portal. You know, there are no guarantees. That's why I said almost. Very close, but not completely. But tell me how you feel. Do you want Griffen back? Would you rather Alabama go for a different guard? I know it was far-fetched, but I was really hoping that Nate Oats and the guys could put something together for Aberdeen out of Florida. That would have been my dream guy to get out of the portal this year. That did not happen. He's going to be at Kentucky. So while you're doing that, leave a comment. We're gonna use your best comments on the show this week and next week and moving forward. So be sure, if you want to be featured on the show, you leave a comment. While you're doing that, make sure you subscribe, like the video, do all the things, because when you do the things, we can do more things for you, right? We can create more content. Tell us create more comment. You create more comments. That's your job. Content. Tell us what we're doing good, what we're doing bad. Obviously be nice. Don't have to be mean, but you know, constructive criticism is always welcome here at Waaaay Offsides. While you're doing that, be sure to use your phone and also check out our new website. We're in the process of building this thing up. It's under construction, but it is live right now. We'll have a blog post coming soon. You can check out all of our lives there, but we really want you to subscribe as well on YouTube. So that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. You know the drill. As always, please say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.